Bonjour et bienvenue sur la chaîne. I try. We're going French today. We're doing French Fridays. And this is an open tag started by Bakery Wizard. Well, I don't know if he meant it as an open tag. I think he just wanted to post his French knives on a Friday, but I stuck my oar in because I love French knives and I want to build my collection up and show a few on the channel. So, and we've got a brilliant one for you today. So I'm dedicating this video to a fellow knife lover in the community. This is Rhino. We got talking about this brand and this type of knife in one of my comments, and I can't remember what video it was, mate, but we started talking about it and it sort of pushed me to get it. So this knife's been on my radar for a very long time, and we're going to go through the range first just to show you the different types that they do. Now we're going to be comparing it to obviously the Open L because they're very similar. Now, Open Ls are very famously modded, and I'll show you a few here. That people mod the actual blade themselves and the wood handles. They're very inexpensive and kind of easy, not easy, but because it's wood and very easy to work with, I suppose, sort of to modify them and play around with them. So this company, Verdier, they do that for you. So Andrē Verdier is a company, and they do a lot of knives, and the company sort of do Lagriels, Latiers, all different types of knives, and they do a lot of kitchen stuff. Now this model that we're looking at here, or this type of knife, is called Alpage, and I hope I pronounced that right, Rhino, and it translates to alpine pastures. How beautiful is that? But the actual so this model, this type of knife, they do so many different types of this, and the ones that always draw me was the design. They do like theme designs on some of the handles, and I'll show you a few here, and to be honest, they're probably the ones I should have gone for, but I'll explain why I went for this one in a minute. But yeah, so they do different themes, and they've got so many different wood types that they use. But yeah, really good range that they do with this Alpage. Really, you're spoiled for choice, really. And they do a customizable option where you can send in designs and they try and fulfill that for you, which I thought was really a neat sort of thing to do, really. So talking about the range itself, they do 3 different sizes. So I've got the 8.5 centimeter one, which is the equivalent to an Open L number 8. They do a larger size, the 9.5 centimeters. Now in that size range, that's the only one that they offer with a carbon steel blade. And then they do a junior, which is a 7.5 centimeter version, which I'm hopefully going to get hold of one of them, and I'll explain why later. But yeah, so this knife range, I found some premium versions of it as well, not on Andrē Verdier's site, but actually on a different site. And the premium ones look absolutely brilliant. So they do ones with like a PVD coating, and they do like a copper version, and then they do an all blacked out version. They do one with a Damascus steel. Not a big fan of Damascus, but if that's your thing, they've got you covered. And they do one with a VG10 steel. Now, talking of the steel, on this actual knife seller's website, they were saying that it was a Samvik 12C27, but when you go on Andrē Verdier's site, they actually say it's X46 CR13, which is the 1.4034 steel. It's sort of like equivalent to a 420C. And that's pretty much the only offering they give you for the 8.5 and the 7.5. So, and I didn't find out what the carbon steel they use is for the 9.5 centimeter one. But yeah, really interesting brand, really interesting knife, really. A lot of them come with these sort of leather lanyards already there. I can't think what this knot is. I've done one myself in the past, but yeah, just a nice little neat little added feature. Obviously you can get rid of that and put your own one on. So why I went for this instead of one of those nice themed ones is, I think we can all relate to this. It's a limited edition, so they only made 200 of these. I've got 182 out of 200, and basically they're celebrating 200 years anniversary, but not Andrē Verdier. So they're celebrating 1820 to 2020. So Andrē Verdier have been going around since 1859. Let me just check. Yeah, 1859. And it's gone through 6 generations of people. And it's currently owned by 2 brothers, which is Ronan and Aubrey Verdier. So it's quite, you know, a really historic company. So whose anniversary are we celebrating? So we're celebrating this company here, and these are a knife seller. So even the knife sellers have got a deep history in France, and I've used these quite a bit, and they're extortionate for the delivery, considering they're only in France. You know, I get a lot of stuff delivered from Europe, but these are so expensive for the delivery. But that's the only gripe I've got with them, because they've got a brilliant range of knives and some really good stuff on there, and their service is spot on. And to be honest, the delivery is very fast. But yeah, so having a look at the range again, that comes in so many different types of wood, similar to the Open L's. Open L's do a range of woods, but I'll show you all the different woods they do now. So they do an olive, they do a beech, they do an ebony, a wenge, a padauk, sapelli, walnut and oak. So, you know, they've got you covered on everything, really. And I'm really looking forward to trying this knife out and reporting back. So, should we have a look around the knife? Let's have a look around the knife. Now, when I got this was bugging me for ages. You see those lines there? I thought, I've seen that. I've seen that somewhere before. If you have a look at this. Now, I think Andrew over at Rosecraft Blades took inspiration from this when he was doing the kayak. So if I show you the picture of that now, it's exactly the same as the top of his kayak blade there. So he must have took inspiration from this knife. Must be a fan also of this knife. And it's a lovely drop point. We've got a long pull instead of a nail nick. This is actually stamped in, so it's going nowhere. And on a lot of French knives, you'll find it's actually on the blade. A lot of their billboarding and things like that. So it's got a locking mechanism, and it's very similar to the Open L one, where it locks open, locks close. That's etched, so that will eventually come off, I would imagine, with time. And on the Varilock itself, we have 100% made in France, and then just Andrē Verdier, breveté. I'm trying to think what that means. I'm sure Rhino will tell us in the comments. But yeah, really nice. And it's very deep, sort of etched in there, laser etched, or however the process is they do. The only gripe I've got with this knife, now this was €30, so let's keep that in mind. It's not an expensive knife, but the blade, well, it's very roughly cut. So there's a few chips out of it and things like that. And whatever they've used to coat it is dribbled down into the blade well. So if we compare that to an Open L number 8, it's very clean cut. But now while I've got this in hand, I love the Open L's. Absolutely love them. The only thing I don't like about Open L, they've gone very modern, they're very industrialised now. Everything is sort of, there's minimal hand sort of processes now, and a lot of machines do it now, which I find bizarre, really, because when you look at the finished products, it's very rustic, it's very old school. To see it being manufactured in such an industrial environment is a bit sad, really, if you ask me. I'm a bit of an old romantic. I like the idea of a knife being made single-handedly in a workshop, which is a lot of the time how it is done in Sheffield. But another reason why I wanted to get the 7.5cm version of this. So on the Open L, the cut-off point is, for being a slip joint, is the number 5. So, which is a really good knife, really enjoy it, 5th pocket dropper. I do actually carry these. I usually, with the Open L's, I've usually got them in the stainless and the carbon, because I'm a bit of a knife geek and I like to compare, and I like stainless, I like carbon knives. So, but yeah, real good 5th dropper. Now when they go to the number 6, that's when they have the locking mechanism, but this is UK legal, and 7.5cm will be UK legal as well. So what way of getting around that is take this locking collar off. Don't have it on you though, because if you ever get pulled up, you can essentially make it a locking knife. But if you take it off and chuck it away, or put it to one side and then carry it like this, it's UK legal because it's non-locking. The only problem is you're left with this cutout, which is a bit ugly, to be fair, but I wouldn't exactly say that's particularly attractive, but it does make it a bit more useful, and that's what I've done with my Open L number 6s, so I can still carry them. I love the Open L carbon steel. It does patina up really nice. If I use my number 8 here, I do like the way it patinas. But yeah, and with these sort of knives, the main draw for me is the geometry. They're so thin, so they're really, you know, a real good slicer. So if you have a look at the thickness of the Verdier, it's slightly more thicker. So, in fact, it's 2.5 millimeters. So 2.5 millimeters for the 8.5 and the 9.5. When you get to the 7.5, it's 2 mil. So it'll be a lot more of a slicer as well. But really looking forward to using this and seeing what it's like putting it to use. But yeah, just a really cool knife. And that Andrē Verdier, really good company that do a lot of different types of knives. Like I say, they do the Lanyard, they do the Verdiers, they do a lot of kitchenry stuff. But this Alpage, the Alpage, is a phenomenal knife that I've wanted to get in the collection for a while. So, while I've got you as well, my last French Fridays, I tried to make contact with a seller over in America called Knives of France, because I wanted to use some of the pictures he had on his website. Unfortunately, he didn't get back to me in time by the time I put that video out, so I didn't use them. But he nicely got back to me and said, yeah, use what you want, just give me a bit of a, what do they call it? Just, you know, tell the people where you got it from, basically, which is only fair. But I love that guy's site. Now, I'm over in the UK. I'm never going to buy anything from him, although his prices seem really reasonable. I'm very jealous of America because, especially at the moment, it feels like you can get everything over there. There's not like before we could get certain things over here that maybe you couldn't. Now, I don't think he sells this particular knife, so that's probably one in our favour. But there's so many good French knives on there. But I'll tell you why I like that site and why I look at it being a UK guy. The information he's got on there, you know, I'm a knife geek. I like looking up on websites and things like that. And he's got like a vlog or a post, and he just posts information, and he's got some brilliant pictures on there, a lot of history and a lot of facts on there, and just a really good site to check out. Like I said, very envious of you guys over in the States, because it seems like, it's even with the Sheffield stuff, I feel like you get Sheffield knives and a vaster range than we get over here, you get over there at the moment. It's insane. So yeah, very envious over here of the stuff you can grab. But anyway, thanks for watching, and thank you Rhino, and thank you Bakery Wizard, and please like and subscribe. I'm so close to 600. I think I'm on 599, so who wants to be number 600? And I keep saying it, I will put together a giveaway or something soon, because it's not gone forgotten. I was going to do one at 500 and just got really super busy. But yeah, I do appreciate it. And we're slowly getting there, and I appreciate all the support. So yeah, please like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.